All right, will you please explain to us why you're here tonight?
Is the lenses open? Okay, it's working?
Yep.
I am here calling for release of the assassination records related to John Kennedy, and also records related to World Trade Center 7 and 9/11 that are still withheld.
And do you think this is a relevant venue for raising this argument?
Well, I think among the most powerful and influential people in the country and even in the world come through this little span of 30 feet here on this particular night, when Kennedy Center honors are given to 5 of the best-known entertainers in the world, and or artists and entertainers. And I think it's a very appropriate place to draw attention to the idea they're walking into the living memorial to John Kennedy, as this is called, and yet records of his assassination are still withheld. It's ironic they call it Kennedy Center Honors when John Kennedy himself is, in a sense, dishonored, I think, by the conspicuous entertainment, while records of his murder are still kept secret. It's just not, it's interesting how we're numb to it for the most part. In fact, tonight we're kind of, the whole Kennedy Center Honors sort of glorifies those who distract us from thinking about things like that are, otherwise maybe we'd spend attention trying to solve and get the records released. So I've got Richard Gage from Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, who is amenable to display of this poster. It would be nice to draw some of the young people who are more familiar with the inconsistencies about World Trade Center 7 and 9/11 into realizing historically that there's a continuous thread in our history, more than 100 years of the battle for control, the central bank to fuel corporatism and militarism. And John Kennedy certainly at a point in time, well, I think even as early as 1961, there was a speech he gave at the United Nations September 25th, 1961, right after the assassination of the UN Secretary General. Apparently his plane was shot down in Africa, and allegedly the CIA is tied to that. It's only come out in recent years, but at the time it was just thought to be a crash. So John Kennedy gave a speech at the UN a few days later, and he used the word peace 40 times in that speech, and spoke of mutual disarmament, nuclear disarmament, and it's enough to make one think that Oswald was even being prepared in his role to be patsy that early, because John Kennedy had already telegraphed that he wanted to diffuse the power of militarism that we have been on the path of ever since.